Welcome, students. Let's continue our chapter Matter in Our Surroundings. So far, we have discussed the effect of change of temperature, well as how can a solid get converted into liquid and how a liquid gets converted into gas. That means we have discussed melting and boiling of the matter, right? Now, today, let's discuss about the freezing and the condensation. But yes, as we have discussed that on increasing the temperature, solid gets converted into a liquid, and a liquid on heating gets converted into gas. That means we have to supply some heat to convert the solid into liquid or to convert a liquid into gas. We have discussed all this so far. Now let's talk about how can we convert a gas to a liquid. See, students, if we cool down a steam, if we cool water vapors by lowering the temperature, it's converted into liquid water. You know it. So in this case, what happens? A gas or a steam that changes into a liquid. So the change of state has taken place, and the process of changing a gas or vapor to a liquid by cooling, by lowering the temperature, that's called condensation. So when steam or water vapor changes into water on cooling, it's called condensation of steam or condensation of water vapor. And during this condensation, a change of state has taken place. Now, why the condensation takes place? Why the change of state occur? So whenever gas is cooled enough by lowering its temperature, then what happens? The particles, they lose so much kinetic energy, and because of losing kinetic energy they slow down, they move closer together until they start being attracted to each other, and when they start attracting each other they will form a liquid. So basically on cooling, on lowering the temperature, particles lose their energy, particles give out energy, and because of which they come closer, they attract each other and form liquid. So it's actually the reverse of boiling, or you can say the reverse of vaporization process, right? Where a solid gets converted into where a liquid gets converted into vapor. It's just reverse. Here gas gets converted, vapor gets converted into liquid state. Now let's talk about another change, that is liquid to solid change. That means, see, students, whenever water is cooled by lowering its temperature or by keeping in the freezer compartment, right, in refrigerator, it changes into solid ice. You may be aware about it, right? So the process of changing a liquid into a solid by cooling, that is called freezing. So when water is cooled, it gets converted into a solid state. It forms ice, right? And this is freezing of water. In fact, freezing, you can say freezing means solidification. When water freezes to form ice, then there's a change in the state. Liquid state of water changes to the solid state. It becomes ice. And this is actually the reverse of melting. In melting, you know that a solid gets converted into liquid. Here the liquid gets converted into solid, and the freezing point is the temperature at which a liquid freezes, at which a liquid forms a solid at atmospheric pressure. And the freezing point of a liquid is same as the melting point of the solid. Say melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius, right? So the freezing point of water will be also 0 degrees Celsius. So a change of state occurs during freezing. Now why? What happens in this freezing? So basically, when a liquid is cooled, when temperature is lowered, particles lose energy, because of which they move slowly. And if the liquid is cooled enough, say up to freezing point, then what happens? Each particle stops moving and vibrates about a fixed position. They start vibrating at their positions, and at that stage liquid freezes and becomes a solid. So basically, by cooling, particles lose again energy. They will give out their energy and they will start moving slowly. And when it's cooled enough at up to freezing point, then particles stop moving, they just start vibrating at their positions and forms the solid. Okay, so from the all discussion, we can say that the state of matter can be changed by changing the temperature, that means by heating or by cooling. Now comes the another important thing. See students, most of the solid substance, when they are heated, they first change into liquid and then into vapors or gas. And the vapors on cooling first forms a liquid and then a solid, right? But there are few solid substances which change directly into vapors or gas on heating, and the vapors, they give back solid substance on cooling without passing through liquid state. And that change of a solid directly into vapors on heating and of vapors into solid on cooling, it's known as sublimation. So where a solid gets converted into directly into vapor, or the vapor gets cooled down into solid, that is sublimation. So sublimation, two things are in sublimation: that changing of a solid directly into vapor and the changing of vapor directly into solid. Okay, and the solid substance which undergoes sublimation is said to sublime, and the solid that is obtained by cooling the vapors, that is called sublimate. In both the cases, solid substance is known as sublime and sublimate, but yes, sublime is where a solid gets converted into vapor, and sublimate is where the solid is obtained from cooling the vapors. So we'll have an example of sublimation. Let's talk about, let's have an experiment. We are having ammonium chloride that undergoes sublimation, or you can have camphor that also undergoes sublimation. Let's take solid ammonium chloride, and when the solid ammonium chloride is heated, it directly changes into ammonium chloride vapors without passing through liquid state. And when hot ammonium chloride vapors are cooled, they directly change into solid ammonium chloride, again without passing through the liquid state. So sublimation occurs not in all substances, but it occurs only in few substances. So it's a very rare process. And the common substances which undergo sublimation are ammonium chloride, iodine, camphor, naphthalene, and anthracene. And when these solids are heated, their particles, they move so quickly that they separate completely to form vapors from gas. And then these vapors, when these vapors or gases are cooled, these particles slow down so quickly that they become fast and form a solid. Okay, we can have another example of sublimation, that is provided by solid carbon dioxide, which is commonly known as dry ice. Maybe you are aware about it. You have seen the special effects on stage somewhere. So there it's actually dry ice, solid carbon dioxide, which sublimes on heating and is used to create special effects on stages. Okay, so the solid carbon dioxide or dry ice is sublimes to form carbon dioxide gas. Okay, and in fact in many households we use many small naphthalene balls that are kept in stored woolen and silk cloths to protect the clouds from attack of moths and other insects. And it is noticed that these naphthalene balls disappear with time without leaving behind any residue. How? Where the naphthalene balls goes? So basically naphthalene balls undergo sublimation, and the naphthalene balls keep on forming naphthalene vapors slowly, which disappear into the air. Okay, so we are having a lot of applications of sublimation. These are useful in purification of solids which sublime on heating and contain non-volatile impurities. And in fact in very cold place, snow doesn't melt but sublime directly to vapor. That snow is actually solid carbon dioxide. In frost free refrigerators, ice on the wall of the freezer sublimes when warm air is circulated through the compartment during the defrost cycle. Why? Because that frost free, that ice that is on the walls of the freezer, that sublimes, that directly changes into vapors. So we are having a lot of applications of sublimation. Now we can show you, here it is the interconversion between three states of matter, solid, liquid and gas, with the help of this states of matter triangle. It's shown here. You can see that the states of matter are interconvertible. They can be changed by changing the temperature or pressure. So far we have not discussed about pressure, but we'll discuss it in the next lecture. But here it is the conversion by changing the temperature. You can see that solid gets converted into liquid, that is by increasing the temperature, that is fusion. If liquid gets converted into solid, that is solidification, or that's freezing. Then liquid gets converted into gas, again on increasing the temperature, that is vaporization. And on cooling, gas can be converted into liquid, that's condensation. And if solid directly changes into gas, that is sublimation. And again, if gas gets converted into solid, that is again sublimation, or you can say solidification, or deposition. So this is all about the interconversion of the three states of matter by changing the temperature.